Sometimes it can be difficult to know where you're supposed to be or whether you're doing the thing you're supposed to be doing. And it's because society is very earth focused and they have very specific things that we are supposed to accomplish in order to be accomplished in life. And if we live our life by those rules and we are not a very earthy person, then you're going to have a bad time. So what does it mean to be in your element? Being in your element is essentially when your soul and your spirit are together as one in your body and you feel absolute joy. You feel comfortable. You're surrounded by people who are also in their element and usually in your element too. Being in your element can help you to be more fulfilled in life, and it can also help you find the right kind of people that are going to vibe with you. Have you ever heard like, oh, we were just vibing? And even though that sounds kind of silly, it is absolutely true that when you are vibing with somebody, it means that you are exchanging energy, and usually the energy that you're exchanging, that currency that you're having between you two, is your dominant energy. So I'm going to be writing an article for my website on how to find your dominant element, okay? That is the energy that you most deal with. And it's really important, as I was saying, because it can help you to be happier and to know the things that are going to make you happy and to make sure that you are in the right place. I find that when we are young and when we haven't maybe struggled very much, or maybe we've struggled because of this, sometimes it can be difficult to know where you're supposed to be or whether you're doing the thing you're supposed to be doing. And it's because society is very earth focused and they have very specific things that we are supposed to accomplish in order to be accomplished in life. And if we live our life by those rules and we are not a very earthy person, then you're going to have a bad time. And I say that as a person who experienced that myself. I am an intelligent individual. I have my talents and I did really well in school, but I was doing things in order to fulfill my social obligation to succeed at life, and I just was not happy. I was miserable the entire time. So I quit grad school several times. And when I say I quit it several times, I quit it several times. I finished my master's in English literature because I love literature, and actually studying literature is what helped me to be such a good astrologer now, because all I did was study symbols all the time. And that should be a hint as to like one of my dominant elements. But I'm going to be writing an article on how you can find your dominant element. It's going to be linked in the description, and maybe I'll also share it on my community tab, so in case people miss it. So it's really important to know what your dominant element is, because it'll help you know where you belong, where you're supposed to be, what people are you supposed to be surrounded by. Sometimes you're going to have people who balance you out and bring out the element that is missing within you in order to help you be a more balanced person. But you also need the people that kind of just get you. You know, when you meet somebody and you're like, that person, they just get me. Well, the reason why that person just gets you is because they probably share an element with you. And that energy that you guys have in common is resonating. And that is why you just kind of vibe with them so well. So even though that sounds silly, it really is very important to be fully aware of what your dominant element is. And sometimes people think like, oh, well, I'm a fire sign, so I'm a fire person. Well, that doesn't always have to be the case. You can have fire planets in the water houses, and that makes you a little bit watery. Or you can have a lot of air in your chart, but you have that Pluto and you have that Neptune doing a whole bunch of stuff to your planets. So you're going to be more watery or have more emotions, have more feelings than the average air person. So I think that becoming more aware of the things that are true to ourselves within our chart helps us recognize ourselves for who we really are, and that will help us connect with other people who also recognize us for who we really are, and it allows us to kind of go in the direction that we're supposed to be going. And yeah, so that's the video. It comes along with an article. Make sure you go read the article. I tried to do the article in a video format, and it was just too confusing. I found that it was just too many repetitive steps. It's very easy. The process for finding your dominant element it's pretty simple. But I just felt that it would be better if I went through it in written form, because I'm better in the written format, because that's just the way that I function. So that is my element, okay? So that's a video for today, guys. So please go through the process and let me know in the comments what your dominant element is, and let me know if you were surprised by your dominant element. Also, I find that a lot of us just know like what our dominant element is. For some of us, it comes natural and you're just like, oh, I'm a water person. I already know. I don't even have to do that. I just know. But for some of us, it isn't. I'm a rising Capricorn. So for a long time, I was very much in that rising Capricorn, and I would look at Cancer energy, anything that had to do with feelings, anything that had to do with the moon, and I was just like disgusted. I was like, no, sick. I don't want anything to do with that. And as I became older and I matured, I was just like, hey, wait. I think we all have feelings. I think that Cancer was right all along, and everyone should be nice, and we should all be kind to each other and give ourselves hugs, because I don't like to hug other people. But yeah, so as I got older and I studied my chart more and learned astrology and got to know myself better, I realized that I have a lot of watery things in my chart that make me open and receptive to that kind of energy. So sometimes it's going to surprise you what your dominant element is. And yeah, that's the video. Let me know in the comments what you think and what your dominant element is. Thanks so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next video.